Hard work is not equal to success. At some point in your life, you have to accept this uncomfortable reality. Most people spend years running from it, but sooner or later, life forces you to face it. And I know this sounds strange because we've been taught the exact opposite. The internet is full of people telling you that if you just keep trying, keep grinding, and keep pushing yourself harder than everyone else, success is guaranteed. But if you've lived long enough, you've probably realized that life doesn't always work according to effort. Sometimes you do everything right and still lose. Sometimes you spend years chasing a goal that never arrives. And sometimes a person who worked far less than you somehow ends up where you've been trying to get for years. It's frustrating, but maybe the frustration isn't coming from reality. Maybe it's coming from our expectations of reality. Because deep down, most of us aren't just working hard, we're secretly expecting life to reward us for it. We're treating effort like a contract. I worked hard, therefore I deserve the result. But life never signed that contract. The truth is that hard work only increases the probability of success. That's all it does. It improves your chances, it prepares you, it makes success more likely, but it never guarantees anything. And I think one of the biggest reasons people suffer is because they confuse probability with certainty. This is where Taoism completely changed the way I look at life. In the Tao Te Ching, there is a famous idea that can be summed up like this: forcing things often creates the very resistance you're trying to avoid. Think about that for a moment. The harder you try to force sleep, the more awake you become. The harder you try to force someone to like you, the more unnatural you act. The harder you try to force happiness, the more frustrated you feel. Life seems to have this strange tendency to move away from people who desperately try to control it, and maybe that's because life was never meant to be controlled in the first place. A river doesn't force itself to flow, a tree doesn't force itself to grow, the seasons don't force themselves to change. Everything happens naturally according to its nature. Yet when it comes to our own lives, we act differently. We try to force careers, force relationships, force success, force outcomes, and then we wonder why we're exhausted all the time. I'm not saying don't work hard. I'm not saying sit on your couch and wait for the universe to save you. That's not Taoism. Taoism isn't about doing nothing. It's about not fighting reality unnecessarily. It's about understanding the difference between action and force. You can take action without forcing. You can work hard without becoming attached. You can pursue a goal without making your happiness dependent on it. That's the balance most people miss. Because when you're attached to an outcome, every delay feels like a disaster. Every rejection feels personal. Every failure feels like proof that you're not enough. But when you're simply doing the work because it's the right thing to do, something changes. You become lighter, calmer, more patient. You stop trying to pull the future toward you, and instead, you focus on what's in front of you today, this moment, this action. Ironically, that's often when things start falling into place. Not because the universe is rewarding you, but because you're no longer wasting energy fighting things you cannot control. The older I get, the more I think success has less to do with forcing life and more to do with cooperating with it. Do the work, learn the skill, take the opportunity when it appears. But don't spend your life trying to wrestle reality into submission, because reality always wins. And honestly, that's not a bad thing. There is a certain peace that comes from realizing you don't have to control everything. You don't have to know exactly how your story ends. You don't have to force every door open. You don't have to carry the weight of the entire future on your shoulders. Just do what you can with what you have, where you are, and let life unfold the rest, like a river finding its way to the ocean.